All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Props to Consider and Maybe Bet. I'm your new, current, temporary host, Mike, at CouchWarrior Pod, and today I'm joined by my guy, MMA Propaholic, to break down UFC London. We're going to do the usual format. We're going to go through the whole card. We're going to talk about props that we are considering and maybe betting. And then at the end, we'll give you guys our three favorite bets, props, and we're going to, of course, do Yam Bags. So, Prop, thanks for coming on. How are you feeling about this card, brother?
Yeah, of course. I'm actually really liking it from a fan perspective. I actually shockingly have the same amount of money line bets as props right now, which is usually never to take with me. But I like this card, man. There's some props that are really sticking out, and there's some props that I have. So that's the point of the show. Props to consider and maybe bet. So yeah, man, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yep, we don't have to bet everything. We just got to consider it. So real quick, let's catch up with the chat. We got a bunch of people in here. My guy Mushroom, thanks as always. Make sure you guys are checking out Mushroom stuff. Dixon, is Lou back yet? He is not, but he might be at some point soon. Lou made it sound like he's going to be gone for a long time. Yeah, it's going to be up to Lou for how long he's gone. We're going to have to wait and see. maybe. Victor, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming on. Who else we got here? Who else? CT, my brother. Thanks for... Okay, yo, this isn't even funny, this one. I'm going to just, I don't like this one. Subhuman Gucho. We don't joke around about that, so I'm just going to... I'll give you a warning, and then if I have to, I'm going to mute you. So don't do that again. And Sicky, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming on. All right, let's do this thing. We'll start off with the first fight of the card. We've got Filio versus Daniel Buyres. I know we've got very different opinions here. Prop, why don't you start us off, brother?
Yeah, so I actually have a bet on the Buyres TKO/KO prop at plus 550 on Bet Online. I just feel like he's the way better striker in the pocket with his hands. I feel like Filio kind of just dips his head. He throws naked leg kicks. He doesn't really put a jab behind it. And when he's throwing his leg kicks, he kind of throws them when he's really in close in range, and that's where Buyres is at his most fast with his hands. And yeah, I feel like he's going to catch Filio. I know Filio has never been knocked out, but he got hurt on the Contender Series fight against a lower level striker with way less experience, who has slower hands and honestly has less powerful leg kicks. And even in Filio's last fight against Mokaev, there were some moments on the feet where Mokaev was able to land his hands and kind of pressure Filio. I know Mokaev has sensational pressure, but I really like what Buyres brings to the table. I think he has great leg kicks as well, and I feel like he could stop the takedowns from Filio. And if he stops the takedowns from Filio and he's hitting them with his hands and he's checking the leg kicks and kicking the lead leg, man, plus 550 on the TKO/KO, man, I feel like it's just worth it, man. And especially just knowing, man, Buyres hits like a truck, man. To get his KO at plus 550, I feel like his best win path. I feel like it's just disrespectful, man. So I took a shot on the KO at plus 550 on Bet Online.
Yeah, I'm on the completely other side. I feel like a lot of the love coming in for Buyres, not necessarily you, but in general, I think it's coming from the Hernandez fight and then some MMA math. Hernandez destroyed Bonder. Hernandez is so good. Buyres arguably beat Hernandez. Therefore, Buyres is going to win. I don't do MMA math. So I think Filio's got this. And for my sub to consider, and I will probably bet, I'm just waiting for other lines. I want to bet Filio by submission. It's already at plus 375 on Bet Online. I feel like I can get something even better. I think that he has good power, so a club and sub is live. I think he has good grappling, so a sub is live. And I think that Buyres might bring it to the ground himself. And if he does, it's going to be a mistake. And I think the sub is going to be live. So all Filio has to do, either shoot for takedowns, let him get takedowns, or make him uncomfortable on the feet and make him shoot. So we're going to have to wait and see. I've considered the under as well because you also have valid points with the striking and a possible knockout. And because both sides could get a finish here, I've considered maybe the under 2.5 or maybe the fight doesn't go. What do you think of those, Prop?
Yeah, so I actually really like those bets. Yesterday the fight doesn't go on Bet Online, dropped at plus 100, and I was staring at it for 6 to 7 minutes, and I actually ended up just not pulling a trigger. And as soon as I went to go put a unit on it, the line actually got taken down. Then it went to minus 140. I still like it there. I like the under 2.5 and minus 120, but I've just missed this opening line. Like, I missed it earlier in the week. I missed the under 2.5. They opened it at plus 150. It was there for like 2 to 3 minutes, and it switched to a 1.5 right away. Then I missed the fight doesn't go plus 100. So I'm kind of just passing because I have the Buyres KO and the Buyres money line as well. But I like it, man. I mean, it kind of it covers both sides because Buyres could get submitted here, but I actually think he's pretty skillful on the ground, man. Like, I forgot to mention, like, he had a reverse triangle like on his back against Carlos Hernandez, which I thought was pretty high level. Like, he threw that triangle up right away and was just landing nasty elbows. But I feel like he's pretty nasty off his back as well. Like, especially they're kind of pricing his sub prop with Filio's sub prop as well on Bet Online, which I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Like, do you find that to be interesting?
Yeah, it doesn't quite make much sense to me. How many subs does Buyres even have? Let me check.
I think he has one less than his KO. I think he has 5 or 6.
Oh, he has 6.
Yeah. And Filio has 8, I'm pretty sure. It's been
The competition he's fighting it's rough.
Yeah. It's a great fight, man. I'm really looking forward to this fight a lot.
Same. But all right, let's move on to the next one. We've got Shauna Bannon versus Bruna Brazil. I'll start us off. Honestly, I don't have a prop here. Like, I don't want to force anything, and like nothing really catches my interest to make me consider anything. Honestly, the under is interesting just because I think Shauna Bannon is not very high level. Excuse me. And I feel that Brazil is a really good striker. She's got great technique and she's got pretty good power. She's large for the division. So the under is a little interesting, but I'm probably not going to touch it. I don't really want much to do with it. You have any props here, prop?
No, it's like pretty hard, but I feel like the best props I can give out is maybe Bruna Brazil round 2 and Bruna Brazil round 3. Maybe she's able to cover range and make it pretty bad for Shauna, like, because I don't really think her takedowns are as good as everyone's saying. Like, she literally gets reversed from top and then she's on bottom, and she literally lost to this girl Vieira on the Invicta, who I just thought was like an absolutely horrific striker. And I feel like Brazil is just way more technical at range. She's better with her hands, has great leg kicks, and I just feel like she's going to keep the range here, keep Shauna out of the clinch, and kind of just piece her up to like a 30-27 decision. But, dude, it's the best striker to date that Shauna's versing, especially professionally. Like, if she could hit her with some good shots and get her out of there, like, especially late, like a standing TKO, dude, like, it wouldn't shock me. So, just for the sake of the show, I'll give out Bruna Brazil round 3 KO on here. At crazy odds.
What is that sitting at? It's not even crazy. Plus 1,400.
Really? That's it? Yep. Wow.
They priced her KO pretty low too. It's plus 300 now. Opened at plus 550, which I think is more accurate.
Yeah, it definitely is more accurate.
But all right, we can move on to the next one. This is a fun one. We've got Chris Duncan versus Yanal Ashmous. Why don't you start us off, Prop? What you got?
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick Ashmous by KO at plus 325. I think it's still there on Bet Online. I understand like Duncan's at AT&T. He's training with like Grant Dawson, but like when you're training with Grant Dawson, what are you not working on? Your striking defense, and what are you not working on? Your striking, and it's like I don't feel like he's the best wrestler in the world just to transition it so well to be like a minus 160 favorite and like hold a bunch of top control. Like, I don't think Duncan really has great control. He doesn't really have great back takes as well. And the guy only does have one submission. And Ashmous is trading where Muradov trains. And we saw how like he landed that left hand, and we know how nasty Muradov is with his left hand. So I feel like Ashmous is going to catch Duncan in the pocket. I think he's way faster, especially on the counter striking. And I understand like Duncan got dropped by Borshev, then he got dropped by Campbell on the Contender Series. Like, he even got dropped against Omar Morales in the last fight, which I just didn't think was a bad look. Like, only knowing that like Omar Morales is kind of at the end of his career, 37 years old, only has 2 knockouts professionally. Like, I feel like Ashmous just hits way harder, and he's definitely powerful with that left hand, which I like over the top. Like, Duncan struggles with strikes that are over the top and wild hooks. Like, it just splits his guard easily. So I'm taking Ashmous by KO. I'm not taking any specific round. I'm probably going to get there. Hopefully his KO opens plus 400 because I'm probably going to have a straight bet on it as well because I think he knocks out Chris Duncan this weekend, man. One or too many times, man. Like, this guy gets hurt time and time again, and he's just going to get caught here, man. I feel like he's at a huge, like, just speed advantage in the pocket, especially when Ashmous counters, man. When he counters and throws, man, it's going to stun Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me to take the KO if you really think so, because Duncan has been chinned multiple times at this point. But the thing is, for me, the people who are chinning him, the people who are hurting him, Vyacheslav Borishev, an incredible striker, Charlie Campbell, a good striker who can strike straight, which is, I think, is going to be the key word here, striking straight. Omar Morales, actually a very good kickboxer, also punches straight. What does Ashmos not do? He does not punch straight. Everything is looping. Everything is a little bit sloppy. There is indeed power behind it, but I can't sit here and tell you that he's got great technique. He really does not. And in terms, I think the wrestling is going to be a thing here. And it's hard to tell exactly who's going to have the edge. I kind of think it's Duncan, not because he's training at ATT or anything like that, but because he has shown good wrestling. Omar Morales does have good takedown defense, and he took him down 5 times, out-controlled him. And you look at the regional tape for Ashmos, and he's getting out-controlled. Like, he's getting taken down. He's getting taken down more than once in more than one round against guys who aren't very good. So I think that Duncan will have the wrestling here. And because of that, I don't know if I want to bet Ashmos by knockout. The only prop I'm considering here is the under. It's minus 165, which I feel like is kind of generous because both guys can be wobbled. Even Ashmos has been hurt. And I feel like a finish is more than likely going to happen here. I'm just a little thrown off about the price. What do you think of the under prop?
I don't like it. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I hate the price. And just because knowing, like, I feel like Duncan's main path to victory is going to be to use the wrestling. And I know he's training with Dawson heavy this camp. And he's really not a submission guy. And they dropped Ashmos scorecards equals no action, like, earlier in the week, plus 165. Like, I was going to get there. I ended up didn't getting there. And I think it's plus 100 now. So I feel like the value for a finish in this fight is just kind of gone. Honestly. That's just me, though.
Nah, I feel you. I've been hesitant. I think it's for a reason. So we'll move on. This next fight, we've got Caitlin Vieira versus Pannie Kyanza. I'll be honest, I still need to tape this one more. This is the only fight that I haven't taped much yet. You can probably guess why. It's not exactly the most exciting fight on the planet. Even just based off of memory, what I know, I don't think I like anything here. I'm looking at it now. Maybe Vieira by submission, but I don't even remember when the last time she got a sub. So I'm not going to give out anything just because I don't know. But how about you, Prop?
I don't know, man. I mean, this fight I'm completely passing on as well. But, like, for the sake of the show, possibly Pannie breaks her, man. I know she's going to have more volume, and I know she's going to have the pressure advantage here. Like, it really wouldn't shock me. Like, I feel like the best way to bet a prop on this fight is just to bet Pannie round 2 and round 3, man. Because I feel like she's completely live to finish the fight. Like, I feel like Vieira is better than her, but, like, being in there and, like, pressuring and throwing more volume, dude, that's Pannie all day, man. So, Pannie late, I can give out. I feel like that's the best prop to give out for the sake of the show. So, yeah.
The only thing is she hasn't knocked out anybody in the
I
UFC.
know. Just nobody. That's why I'm not betting it, but, I mean.
Yeah, and she hasn't she got knocked down by Julia Avila.
Jeez. She got knocked down by Lita Landsberg as well. Like, one little elbow, she was, like, completely gushed up, man. Just one little elbow. And Ketlin throws elbows right out of the clinch, man, almost every single time.
Yeah, I tend to think Vieira's going to win, but no subs. I mean, no props for me.
She's minus 140 right now, man. I'm like, this line has crashed significantly. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to taping it because I feel like I might end up at Vieira.
Yeah, because there's value on her now, especially at this price.
Yep. All right, let's move on to a fight that maybe we will have props for. We've got Bryan Barberena versus Mahmoud Muradov. How about you, Prop? You're considering anything here?
No, not really. I mean, the best prop I can give out is Muradov KO. I think he knocks out Barberena, man. Like, I feel like coming up a whole entire weight class, coming at a speed disadvantage, especially a power disadvantage, like, I feel like it's going to be pretty significant here. Like, when Muradov lands, like, the first counter overhand right of the fight, like, I don't think Barberena is going to like it at all. And what I really like about Muradov is counter striking, man. Like, I feel like that's where just Barberena is going to struggle. I feel like he's going to lose a lot of hope. I feel like he's going to kind of lose that dog in him. And yeah, we've seen Muradov slow down against Gerald Meerschaert, but like, I mean, I just don't really see that happening here. So give me Muradov by KO. I think he gets him out of there in the second or third round. So if you guys can get the KO combo, like round 2, round 3 combo on Muradov, I feel like that's the best way to play him. I I don't see how Barberena dog walks this guy, man, or just beats him. Like, he kind of, to me, he kind of has pillow fists, and I feel like Muradov can definitely get takedowns here as well, man. Like he was able to hold Rahalo down for that last second round, for the last 2 minutes of the first round, and was even able to reverse him in the second round, and lost the fight because he went for the takedown in the third round and then just kind of lost all the minutes on his back. But I think he knocks out Barberena here, man. I feel like the speed, the power, the coming up weight, it's all gonna transpire in the fight. So give me Muradov by KO in the second round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if I'm gonna play any prop, which I don't think I will, because I parlayed Muradov a little bit when he wasn't minus 350. But if I did play anything, it would be KO and probably late. He loves his round 3 knockouts. He's got 2 of them in the UFC. My only thing is, I feel like people are loving him for parlays this week. Everybody's got him on every parlay. And look, is he really going to look extremely dominant the whole time? I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. I think round 1's going to be competitive with Barberena coming in with a lot of output, as he always does. And Barberena doesn't fight like Meerschaert. Meerschaert does have an ability to break people, but so does Barberena in his own way. Would I be completely shocked if he just overwhelmed Muradov and ruined everybody's parlays, including my own? I have one with him in Aspinall, like everybody else, but I wouldn't be shocked. So I want to caution everybody. Don't go crazy. Do 1 or 2 parlays. Don't stake more than like 2 units and call it a day. He should dominate. He should knock him out. Barberena coming up in weight. I don't know why, but coming up in weight, it might be good. Maybe it'll translate to more power. Maybe it'll translate to a more powerful chin. I mean, he hasn't even been knocked out since the Randy Brown fight in 2019, but I do like that knockout in terms of a prop. That's the only thing I would consider. We can move on. This is a fight I'm strangely looking forward to. We've got Mick Parkin versus Jamal Pogues, and I'll start us off. I think that in terms of just skill, what I see, canceling out all competition levels, I kind of like Parkin better. I like his striking better, and I don't know what it is. I think he's pretty talented, but at the same time, his takedown defense isn't great. He's doing this against bad competition, and he's fighting a guy in Jamal Pogues who does have very good wrestling, who actually has pretty good striking that I was surprised about, and who probably could take him down at will, honestly. When Parkin won his Contender Series fight, I mean, the guy he was fighting took him down and then just died. Then he just completely died. Like, he gassed faster than Romanov against Volkov. It was crazy. So you can't really take too much from it. Well, I think Parkin's going to... I think he has a shot, like a chance of being really, really good. We just don't know yet, and we have no way to know because the people he's fighting outside of that Contender Series bout are awful, awful. Pogues, at least, he's fought some good guys. The thing with him is he wasn't a heavyweight until recently. Going into his Dana White Contender Series fight, he hadn't fought at heavyweight, and neither did his opponent. The opponent he fought, what was his name? Paulo Renato Jr. The guy was actually a middleweight his entire career, hadn't fought in a while, was coming back for the Contender Series, and went up to heavyweight to fight Pogues. So neither of them were heavyweights. And I was pretty surprised that Pogues didn't push the wrestling more. Like, because the guy he was fighting was a striker, and he chose to strike with him. I think one reason might be that he had already a Contender Series fight that he did win, and he wrestled, and he didn't get a contract. So maybe he wanted to be more exciting. But I do think, considering competition, I have to lean Pogues here. I don't want to play him just because I do think Parkin can surprise people. In terms of a prop, though, I completely moved away from props by accident. I can't really give anything out. Maybe Pogues late, just because we don't really know what Parkin is going to look like late. He hasn't been there. So maybe like Pogues round 3, I'd consider, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. I don't think I'm going to bet a side. I think I'm going to leave this fight alone. How about you, Prop?
Yeah, so I feel like the overs are pretty juiced here. I mean, I don't mind the over 1.5 Glimbot, but like, it's heavyweight and it's minus 214. It's just pretty much something I would just kind of stay away from just in case, like, God forbid. And Parkin has like all his wins coming under 1.5 as well. So that's kind of why I'm just going to stay away. But I mean, dude, I feel like Parkin can get Pogues out of there, man. Like, low key. Like, I kind of like the scorecards equals no action on him. It's minus 120 on Bet Online. The only thing that scares me is the cardio in the third round, because I know Pogues kind of can push through that third round with his wrestling, but like, as you said, dude, like, he didn't even push it in that Contender Series fight. Like, all that guy did was just, like, jab his way to a decision. He threw, like, no body kicks, no leg kicks. Everything was just a damn head strike. Like, he didn't mix it up at all. And I actually like Parkin's skill set, man. Like, I feel like the guy is pretty good. Like, obviously, his competition sucks. His takedown defense, I don't think, is very good. And as Pogues is very explosive with his double legs. I mean, the guy's a former 205er. He's definitely going to be more athletic here, but Parkin has a good skill set, man. Like, I know he was, I'm pretty sure he's sparring with Aspinall for this upcoming camp, because I know on his Contender Series fight he was saying that he was working with Aspinall for that Contender Series fight. So I feel like that was pretty interesting. The guy's like pretty technical for heavyweight as well. He fights good behind his jab. He has a good right hand. Actually has pretty solid leg kicks as well when he actually really wants to go to them. And both guys just want to be up on the fence, man, with the clinch. But dude, I think Parkin can knock this guy out, man. Like, I don't really like Pogues' chin, dude. Like, Parisian was hitting him up in the last fight as well. And I feel like Parkin's takedown defense could be better than Parisian's here, just a little bit. So give me the Parkin KO, man. Like, dude, give me Parkin round 2 KO. I think you can get him out of there in the second round, honestly.
I don't hate it. And I just looked up what you said. So at first I was doubting you because I know he trains at TFT Fish Tank, which is a hilarious name. And I know the camp because I think his name is Andrew Fisher from Bellator. He fights there. But you're right. It seems like Aspinall actually joined them. Yep. And it seems like he also did some work at another gym with Aspinall. So it does seem like he's actually been training with him, which is great. It's great to know, honestly. I still probably won't bet him just because I need more information and I don't want to just throw money around. But something inside of me is telling me Parkin is going to pull it off.
Same here, man. Hopefully DraftKings or BetRivers gives the scorecards that scorecards no action close to plus money, because I'm probably going to jump on it, man. I would be shocked if Pogues got a finish here, dude. It would pretty shock me, honestly. Like, the only way I see is a submission, but I don't even see him getting a sub here, man. Like, I was on a sub prop last time out against Parisian, man. We were pretty close, man. We had our opportunities, but I just don't see it happening here.
Yeah, my thing is, though, with Parkin, we don't know how long he's going to make or how he's going to look later on, because he hasn't been at a round 2, and he's only been to round 2 times in 6 fights. So,
yeah.
This fight screams pass to me, but we can move on. This next one, everybody's talking about this fight. We've got Mark Diakiese versus Yoel Alvarez. Why don't you start us off, prop?
Yeah, so obviously, like, everyone's favorite prop of the week is Alvarez by sub. I don't really think so, dude. I think Diakiese to win this fight by decision is pretty good way to bet this fight. Honestly, like, I feel like he stays pretty safe out of the guard of Alvarez. I think his takedown defense is pretty pitiful, man. I don't like his takedown defense. Like, I'm not basing it off the Armin fight. Like, just before that, man, like, he has no resistance to these takedowns. He has like that old school Brazilian jiu-jitsu fight style where he will sit on his back and he doesn't mind losing every minute of the whole entire fight until he can get that triangle, until he can transition to that arm bar. But, dude, I kind of like Diakiese here, man. Like, he's fought the way better kickboxers, I think, than Alvarez. The only problem that I don't like about Mark here is that, like, he's had a problem in the past with leg kicks and checking them, and I know Alvarez really throws heavy leg kicks, and Mark's going to be switching stances a lot. So if he's not switching stances a lot and he's like kind of checking these lead leg kicks, staying safe from the ground, dude, I think he wins this fight, man. Like, I kind of like his point spread, dude, as well. It's plus 120 on Bet Online. I feel like that's a pretty good way to bet him. The only way I see Alvarez winning this fight, dude, is honestly a submission. Like, I know the guy has good pressure. Like, he kind of broke down Thiago Moises, but, like, I don't think Moises is, like, as good as a kickboxer or as a striker as Diakiese. Like, I actually really like Mark Diakiese striking. Like, dude, this line's getting ridiculous, man. Like, I feel like if you're just going to bet Joel Alvarez, dude, you bet the sub, and there's just zero value on the sub, man. Like, at plus 125, like, great. Like, if he gets it off his back, he gets it off his back. But, like, when is he ever offensively initiating the submission? Like, it might sound crazy, but, like, isn't it kind of reminding you of that Cody Brundage sub prop at, like, plus 150 where he's just going to pull guard and you're just relying on the guillotine? I know like Alvarez has like way many more submissions off his back and can kind of do like any type of submission, but like, dude, like I'm not taking a fucking sub prop on a guy like plus 125 just to rely on his back and like lose minutes on his back. Like, I don't even see how he kind of he could take the back of Diakiese and submit him. Like, it did scare me a little bit that Michael Johnson was kind of able to scroll to the back in like the last, I think it was like the last 20 seconds of the second round. That kind of scared me. But dude, like, he doesn't initiate it that much like offensively. So, dude, I know my guy Uncle Weezy's on the fight goes to decision. I really like that bet, dude. I like plus 170, dude. I think that's a great bet, man. I feel like this fight goes, man. I feel like a lot of people are. I think the under is just completely ridiculous here, dude. At minus 180, I see no absolute value in that price at all.
Yep, I'm with you, especially because most of the finishing upside is probably with Alvarez. What's good, Weezy? Thanks for coming on, brother. You're the best. But yeah, I'm glad you're lining up with me. Am I gonna play Diakiese by decision? Probably not, because I'm looking out for something else. Now, I'm not one to think that bookies are watching my show or whales are watching my show or anything like that. But I don't want to give out the prop I'm waiting for just in case, because I'm like really excited about it and I really want to play it. And I don't want to give it out until it's out there because I feel like they're going to fuck up the price big time. But I will agree with the Diakiese decision. Look, Alvarez on the feet, he's good. And you mentioned the leg kicks coming from Alvarez, but I don't know if you've noticed, he also doesn't absorb leg kicks very well. And Diakiese can also throw leg kicks. So it can go either way in that regard. Now, the striking of Alvarez has come a long way. I actually bet him in that Thiago Moises fight. I wasn't sure that he'd win by knockout, but his striking looked really good. Could he knock out Diakiese? Maybe. Can he club and sub him? It's possible. Can he sub him once Diakiese takes him down? I mean, that's his thing. But, like, who's he submitting, right? I was talking about this on Twitter today. Who's he submitting on the ground? It's Danilo Bilardo, Joe Duffy, and Alexander Yakovlev. One of my favorite comments today was somebody saying that Duffy's better than Diakiese without realizing that Diakiese literally fucked Duffy up when they fought, which I thought was really funny. But, yeah, I'm not going to talk too much more just because I am paranoid, like Mushroom said. I don't want the price to get messed up. I feel like I'm going to get a really good one. And follow me on Twitter at CouchWarriorPod. I'll hit you guys with it there. But am I being a dick prop?
Yeah, you are being a dick, dude. I mean, it's a prop show, man. You're being a little bit of a dick.
You're right. All right, fine. There's only 18 people watching right now. Hopefully, I'll get it before everyone else. I'm looking at Diakiese decision only. I think they're gonna fuck that price up all kinds of ways. If it's anywhere near even like pick them anywhere near plus money, I'm throwing 2 units down on it. I don't see what planet here Alvarez wins this fight. I understand with our new damage-loving judges that maybe he could win some rounds off of his back, but I don't think he can win 3 rounds off of his back.
Well, thank you, because I didn't even think about that, and I'm not betting the fucking point spread now. So, yeah.
Damn it, probably gonna ruin the line.
No, I'm not. Nah, we ain't gonna ruin it, man. We'll be there for opening odds. We'll get it, man.
Yo, DraftKings, if you're listening, I'm just playing. It's gonna be Alvarez. Put Alvarez minus 150. All right, just do that. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. I think that's good. If it's a good price, I think that's a fantastic spot.
Even his over and takedowns as well, maybe. Do you think he's gonna like try to initiate the wrestling as much in this fight? Like, I understand like he's taking guys down who are like lower level takedown defense, not as much resistance, and like the closest thing that he saw to a guillotine and pull guard, he did get submitted by, which like kind of scared me with Alves. But I don't know, man. Like
he got hurt by Alves
as much here. Or...
What'd you say?
Do you think he does it as much here, or do you think he tries to really keep this a kickboxing range?
You know, I do think he is going to try because I know he didn't get any against Johnson, but he shot 6 times. And Johnson's takedown defense recently has been
it's really good. Yeah.
On point.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, really fucking good. So
yeah.
I do think he's going to wrestle. I think he's going to try to be smart and strike a little bit because I think on the feet it's relatively even. The only thing going Alvarez's way is his size. He's gigantic. But Diakiese's a good striker too. So I do think he'll shoot, but I think he'll wait. And the main thing I was watching for when I watched the tape was where does Diakiese put his head? when he's shooting? Is it directly in front of him where he can get guillotined, or is he wrapping it behind the back once he comes around? Normally, he's keeping his head safe. So I do think that for the most part, he should be okay with those guillotines. A club and sub, it can happen. It happened in the Alvarez fight. Does Alvarez have similar power? He might. He's not short and stocky like Alvarez is, but he's big and strong. So he could do that. But honestly, I think Diakiese is going to win.
Yeah, dude, I think the line's getting a little bit out of hand now, man. I mean, if you got in on Alvarez early, dude, you guys did your job, especially the sub prop as well. It opened plus 175 also, so.
Victor, I would think you're right, but sometimes the bookies are smart and they understand who should win how. Sometimes they're not. I'm praying that they're not because, man, it's going to be my favorite bet of the card if I get it. So fingers crossed. Bookies, if you're listening, I'm just kidding. I'm saying all the opposite things to throw you off. All right, we'll move on. We got Danny Roberts versus Johnny Parsons. I'll start this one off. I mean, I don't know if I could hate this fight any more than I already hate it. It came out of nowhere. I don't think Johnny Parsons is UFC caliber. I don't think Danny Roberts is really UFC caliber anymore. He still kind of is. I mean, at the lower level, he can compete. And look, skill for skill, Danny Roberts all day long for me. I think it's Danny Roberts all day long. The issue is his chin, but is Johnny Parsons at 5'9" with not a stocky build going to really hurt Roberts? If he's going to hurt anyone, it'll be Roberts, but I don't really think so. And I know a lot of people are on the under, probably for that very reason, but in terms of a prop that I would consider, it would be the over at plus 115 and maybe Roberts by decision, but it's only plus 250, which I don't love. I've considered a straight bet on Roberts because he's going to have, if anybody has wrestling upside here, it's Roberts, right? And again, in the striking, I think it's Roberts. So, and the size. So I give everything to Roberts other than a chin. I don't think I'll get anything here, but in terms of a prop to consider and maybe bet, maybe that over. Or maybe even the over 1.5 as a parlay piece. Because I definitely don't think Parsons going to run in here and just knock him out right away. Definitely don't see that happening. So we'll see. How about you, prop?
You're like the first person I heard all week kind of on the over. So, credit to you, man. I mean, I kind of like the fight to end. I missed the under. I missed the under 2.5. I missed it at minus 105. I know it opened plus 115, sitting around minus 145 now. It's like, I kind of feel like it's priced pretty fairly knowing how like Danny Roberts' chin is, but I'm looking to bet the fight's end by knockout once I get access on DraftKings or Bet Rivers, hopefully to try to cut the fight doesn't go to the distance at plus money. Yeah, you said Roberts has the wrestling outside. He does here, but usually for him to get his wrestling going, his opponent kind of has to wrestle him and get in the clinch with him, which Parsons really isn't going to do here. I mean, Parsons kind of reminds me of Josh Quinlan, man. Like, he kind of just like throws everything in pure power, overhand, trying to knock you out. Nothing's really technical. Like, I understand, like, he's a striking coach at Syndicate MMA. That's why he really hasn't been fighting. He's been coaching up his fighters, but this guy really doesn't have like too much technical like base striking around him. Muay Thai style base, likes to go to the body kicks, has pretty good leg kicks. When he throws his hands, man, everything is just kind of pure powerful. Everything's overhand. Has a pretty good left jab as well. I kind of like his jab when he kind of tends to throw it. Dude, I hate Roberts' chin. Like, I'm telling you right now, dude, this guy's chin, it's like, I don't mean to curse on the show, but it's just fucking terrible, man. It's really bad. And I feel like Parsons can literally just stun him with the left jab. I mean, all Trinaldo has to do is just not grapple him, and he knocks him out 3 other times in the fight. And Trinaldo was going on like 43 on welterweight. I just thought that was a really bad look. I understand Trinaldo's like a more experienced fighter, has more fights than Parsons, but it's like all he had to do was just not clinch him up and he finishes him. And I think Danny Roberts, man, he's pretty live to finish Parsons as well, dude. Like, Danny, when you fight Danny Roberts and you pressure him and you throw like overhands with him, Danny Roberts has no problem with throwing chaos to the win also. So I feel like when both of these guys are going to get in the pocket, they're going to throw down. I feel like Roberts is going to let the crowd get the best of him. I feel like Roberts is going to have some moments as well. Both guys are going to have some moments, but dude, like when this is in the striking, man, and when this is in the pocket and when they're dirty boxing, dude, like I think someone's going to get dropped, man. I kind of like Parsons' chin, though. I feel like his chin kind of held up pretty well against Solomon Renfro, who I actually think is a pretty good goddamn fighter. And I think has like pretty better wrestling than Danny Roberts and is more physical in the clinch with like more muscle mass as well than Roberts. Like Roberts is kind of like a string bean, honestly, for the division, I kind of think. But yeah, dude, I kind of like Parsons by knockout here. Bookies are all over it, but yeah, man, that fight 10 by knockout, once it drops, even if it drops within minus 115, minus 120 range, I'm probably gonna put a full unit on it, man. Someone's gonna get knocked out here, man. I don't see this fight going the distance.
Is Parsons really the striking coach?
Yeah, he actually is. Yes.
Do you know how much that explains then? Because Syndicate MMA, there's so few fighters out of there with
who have good striking, right?
I pulled it up right now. So D-Rod is apparently there. He's a good striker.
Yes.
But then you've got Joanne Wood, you've got Brandon Jenkins, you've got Nicholas Stotze, you've got Vince Morales, you've got Jordan Levitt, you've got Cameron Elsay, you got Shauna Young, you've got Corey Hendricks, Natan Levy, who can't strike for shit, even though I love him. Yeah, it explains a lot of things if he really is the striking coach there. But you reminded me with that fight ends by knockout. This is going back a few fights, but for the Duncan Ashmous fight, what do you think about fight ends in KO for that one?
For which one?
The Duncan Ashmous fight?
That's pretty interesting. I actually didn't really think of that. I feel like if there is a finish, that's the method for it to be. Yeah, I don't mind that. I actually like Ashmos' chin though, dude. I feel like the guy's pretty damn durable. I've seen the guy hurt like pretty bad and he's able to recover, but that's not a bad bet, man. If you like the under, especially if the fight doesn't go, it's like I like minus 200, dude. It's a pretty good look.
Yeah, we'll see. Might take a look, but all right, we'll move on. Next up, we've got Davey Grant versus Daniel Marcos. This is going to be violence all over the place. Prop, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so, I mean, I have the Davey Grant scorecards equals no action at plus 100. I don't really see how Daniel Marcos can honestly finish Davey Grant. I don't like Daniel Marcos' like durability in the later rounds. Like Brandon Lewis looked like completely dead in that third round. And like Brandon Lewis was kind of just able to walk him. And Daniel Marcos was like really tired, breathing really heavy, fought through it, obviously, was able to look really well in that fight. And fast forward to the Simon Oliveira fight, who has like zero technicality to his striking, doesn't really do good with his hands. He threw like 8 spinning heel kicks in the first round. He was also throwing a bunch of spinning back fists, wasn't setting them up, and Marcos was able to make the reads and use his technical striking to get him out of there. Dude, I like Davey Grant, man. I like his style. I feel like he gets young fighters confused. Like, if you go watch the Yanez fight in that second round, like, even DC's, like, it's just this striking style of Davey Grant. He's always putting something out there, conventionally just switching stances and throwing off younger strikers. And I feel like he's just going to throw off Marcos here on the feet, man, especially when we go into the later rounds, dude. Like, you can't knock Davey Grant out, man. I mean, this guy's chin, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, I don't see a submission here from Daniel Marcos at all as well. The guy actually doesn't have zero wrestling. And, dude, I think if someone's going to get takedowns here, it's going to be Davey Grant. I feel like he actually is going to utilize them here, because he is going to have the advantage here. I understand, like, Marcos' takedown defense looked good against Brandon Lewis, but I don't really think Brandon Lewis had any good shots or any deep double legs in that fight. And, dude, I think Grant's going to break this guy down, man. Like, I think Grant's going to finish him in the third round, dude. I like Davey Grant round 2, and I love Davey Grant round 3. I think he gets this third round finish, man. And I'm probably going to get to his sprinkles as well, dude.
Let's see what his third round finish is sitting at. I'm curious. Grant round 3 with no method is plus 1,200. Knockout is plus 22.
That's juicy, man.
So real quick before I go and take my turn, January Blachowicz. Dude, we do our best to read the chat. I really do. I do my best to keep up with the chat. Sometimes I'm not perfect and I get a little caught up in breaking down fights and I don't. But also the one thing you asked us was to do a Darren Till impression. That's a pretty interesting thing to ask and not something that I could do. Could you do a Darren Till impression? I didn't think so. My best impression for Darren Till would be not to show up to a fight. That could be probably the best thing I can do for you.
Or just show up, just don't show up to your next like 4 scheduled videos, then people will get it.
There you go. But yeah, I'm sorry you feel that we suck and that we don't read the chat, but sorry. Goodbye. Weezy brings up some interesting things. Grant money line plus 125. Finish only for Grant plus 100 is interesting because Can Marcos finish him? It's a tough ask. I've been staring at the under 2.5, and I understand that both guys are really tough, but how sustainable is that kind of thing? Like we're looking at two guys who are just going to be throwing everything they have. Davy Grant literally throws from the hip, and I normally hate that kind of thing, but boy, does he make it work. I mean, the power, he's even accurate with it, and it, like you said, it confuses his opponents, especially these young guys. And I actually think this fight's going to play out very similar to the Yanez fight. I think that Marcos is a very good striker. He's still very green, though. I know he's undefeated, but I think he's very green. I'm curious if Grant will shoot. Grant doesn't really shoot. He hasn't in a minute. Let me see the last time. Last time he shot a takedown was against... Last time he got a takedown was against Marlon Vera. Let me see. He shot once against Yanez. He shot once against Smoka. And he shot 0 times against the Sun Sao. So I don't know if he's going to wrestle, but yeah, I kind of expect just violence here. And that's why I'm tempted on that under. I just think both guys are going to beat the living hell out of each other here. Grant's going to be landing giant shots. Marcos is, he uses those elbows, knees, very dangerous guy. So I don't know. That's the only thing I would consider here is the under. I know everybody else is on the over because they're tough and I get it, but this kind of reminds me of like Yanez when he fought, what was his name? The guy everybody hated because he was a dick about Brazilians. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Andrea Lee's boyfriend. What's his fucking name?
I don't know.
I'm going to get it. One sec. His name is Tony Kelly. I remember everybody was on the over there and I took the under for a similar reason. And I was able to cash that one. So we'll see. But right now it's going to be a pass. Only considering it. Like the show name says, we're here to consider and then maybe bet.
I don't hate it. I mean, I just don't really see Marcos finishing, man. It would shock the hell out of me, dude. It would also be Davy Grant's first ever time getting knocked out. So it would shock me.
Yeah, but there's a time for everything.
Yeah, there is. Especially when he's 37 years old, man.
Exactly.
It could happen,
Exactly.
yeah.
He's 37.
Yeah.
He's been in war after war after war
like
after
50
war.
5 years, man. I mean, this guy just doesn't stop bleeding, man.
Maybe even older at this point, but yeah. We'll see if I get there. It does help that Wheezy's also considering it. Makes me a little bit more confident about it. We'll see if I get there, though. We'll move on. I think this fight is going to be really good. We've got Lerone Murphy versus Josh Kulabov. I'll start us off. So I've had to sit myself down and be like, all right, Mike, Kulabov is better than you thought. I thought Kulabov was ass, honestly, and I thought that he was very lucky to get where he did. And at this point, I've got to respect him. He is not ass. He's a good fighter, and he poses a decent challenge to Murphy, but I think Murphy's got him covered completely. Better striker. If anyone's going to wrestle, I think it'll be Murphy. Just a cleaner striker, more power in my opinion, although Kulabov also does have power. I just think Murphy's cleaner. So in terms of a prop to consider and maybe bet, what do I got? The Murphy decision, no action. That one's a little interesting to me. I think I know it was at plus money at some point. I don't know if it's still there.
So plus, I think
minus 110 now.
It's plus 107 on Bet Rivers if you want that.
Might be a spot for me. I already have a unit on him, so I might not. But if anyone gets a finish, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Lerone Murphy personally. So that's the only way I would attack it props wise. How about you?
Dude, I like Murphy by KO at plus 500. I feel like that line is just a little bit ludicrous, dude. Like, this guy's really fast, really explosive with his combinations. And I feel like the shots that he was hitting Santos with, that he hits Kulabov with, dude, he's gonna knock this guy out. Don't get me wrong, dude. I like Kulabov. I've been backing Kulabov. I won money on him against Bogdasarian, luckily, somehow. I like this kid, man. He's pretty good. He's really fast with his combinations. But, even if you watch early in the Suwon Choi fight, he kind of had trouble in the first 2 minutes, closing range. And Choi was, actually able to maintain range. And, that's just something that Lerone Murphy does very well. He's not going to be at a wrestling disadvantage this year as well, which makes me feel pretty, valuable. He's going to keep this fight on the feet. And Choi was actually able to even, take the back of Kulabov in the last minute of that third round, which I thought was a pretty bad look. He kind of fatigued in that fight as well. I understand Bogdasarian's high level as well, but he was hurting Kulabov as well at range. And Dude, I feel like Murphy's going to set these attacks up, man. And like Kulabow's at his best when he's kind of just boxing you in the pocket. And I just don't think that's something that he's going to really have an advantage in here, man. But dude, this Kulabow kid, man, he's good, man. Like this guy's not bad, but this is his best competition to date, man. Lerone Murphy is no joke. So, dude, give me this Murphy KO at plus 500, man. I feel like it's just a little bit ludicrous, man. Like, and as you said, dude, like I've been looking at that scorecards equals no action too, man. Like I don't see a finish from Kulabov, and I feel like Kulabow's best path to victory is a decision. And it's like, personally, like I hate holding minus money tickets on Lerone Murphy. I had it with Santos. He fought really, really close. And it's like every fight that I tape with this guy, man, he's either behind or it's like it's either going to either be a split decision or it's a really close fight, man. And if this goes to decision, dude, it's going to be really close. So I see Dixon says he's got Kulabov plus 3.5. I think that's a terrific way to play him if you're betting Kulabov, because I feel like that's just the way to bet him. But it wouldn't shock me, man, if Murphy knocked him out. And I'm picking that, and I think he does knock him out. I don't know what round it's going to be, dude, but I think he's going to catch Kulabov, man. I feel like he's just better in the pocket, man. And I feel like Kulabov's going to pay for the price because that's where he's his most confident, man, is in that boxing range in the pocket. So give me Murphy by KO at plus 500 on Bet Rivers.
I like it. And just to address the point spread, because I do think it's a smart way to look at it, it's minus 200.
Yeah. Okay. That's a little juicy.
Yeah, you don't really want to play that.
I'd rather just bet. I'd rather bet his money line. Yeah.
But all right, we can move on. Next up, we've got Jai Herbert versus Fares Ziam. I'll start us off. I think Ziam wins. I got him at plus money, which I'm super happy about. But in terms of a prop, I don't have anything exciting to give out here, to be completely honest. I don't know. Part of me thinks we're going to go to a decision. It's minus 150 for the over. Part of me thinks we won't, and that's plus 105 for fight ends, plus 120 on the under. I'm pretty torn, and because of that, I don't have a strong inclination. I'm not going to touch anything, so I don't even have a prop to consider here, but Ziam's my side. How about you, prop? You got anything here?
Dude, I think this line is getting out of hand, dude. Like, honestly, like, I understand Ziam's, like, 9 years younger. I know the word around the street is he's with Hamzat for this camp. Hamzat's with him. They're eating dinner together. He's sparring with him on the mat. He's showing him a bunch of moves. Like, I get it. But, like, guys, Jai Herbert, like, I had a bet on Ludovic Klein in that last fight. And let me tell you something, guys. I was fucking sweating that bet. And I was rewatching it last night. And Jai Herbert, man, like, he's not bad off his back, dude. This guy is a BJJ black belt. He threw up a really nasty armbar against Klein and then was just landing all these crazy up kicks. Like, I don't know what the hell Ludovic Klein was doing. Just kept going back into the guard and eating up kicks and doing no defense. I thought it was really stupid, but he was winning those moments up against the fence, man. Like, he was able to throw him up, land some Muay Thai knees. Like, he's really good with the knees in the clinch. I know Fares does a really good job at mixing it to the body, going high as well, but something he really doesn't do, which I would really like to see more out of his game, especially against Jai, is throw leg kicks. Like, he's only averaging, like, 8 to 10 leg kicks a fight, which, like, he really should be averaging more, especially with how, like, heavy kickboxing style he is. But guy has a great jab. He mixes it good well to the head. But, dude, when, like, you could pressure this guy, man, like, he kind of tends to just, like, not be well when you're pressuring him. Like, I forgot who he was fighting in that third round. He got pressured, man. He got knocked down. He got taken down. He got put into side control. He got mounted as well. He gave up his back. Like, even against Figlak, dude, like, he's winning every single minute of this fight and then gives up his back in, like, the last minute of the half, almost losing the fight. Like, he's lucky that Figlak's coming straight from Cage Warriors, because now that I'm taping Cage Warriors, I'm kind of starting to, like, really realize, like, okay, like, maybe I should really start fading these guys when they make their UFC debut. But, like, dude, like, I kind of like Jai Herbert here, man. I like his scorecards no action, too. It's plus 150 on DraftKings. Like, I feel like Ziam's best path to victory is a sub, which I honestly don't really see happening here. And most of his takedowns come from the body clinch, man. They don't come from open mat wrestling, where Jai kind of tends to, like, get taken down with. And has faced better, stronger wrestlers as well in that department. And Ziam's still improving in that department. Like, guys, he's been submitted 3 times. Jai Herbert's been knocked out by Tybura, Reese McKee, and he got knocked out by Trinaldo, which obviously I don't think is a good look at, but that was also 3 years ago, and Trinaldo has that 55, so he was packing a lot of power. And guys, He came at 160 in that fight as well. So he was probably weighing like 170 pounds on fight night, dude. He probably had a lot of weight on Jai Herbert as well. So, dude, I like this. I like Jai Herbert, man. I feel like he's being disrespected here. And, dude, I think he knocks out Ziam. I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks him out in the second round. I think he can get him out of there in the third round, dude, because when Ziam gets too comfortable at range and he lets the fight come to him, dude, that's when he tends to kind of like fuck it up, man. And that's where he kind of tends to make mistakes. And he's still young, dude. He's 26. And, you know, his 3-2 record in the UFC, I feel like it's shady, man. I feel like it's just a little shady, dude. Like that Malarkey fight, dude, it could have went either way, man. Like Malarkey just wanted to grapple with him. He didn't want to strike with him. Like I know Jai's going to want to strike with him. So give me Herbert, man. Give me Herbert by KO. And I like his scorecards, no action at plus 150, man. I don't see how he gets knocked out, man.
I don't know if this is the real Johnny Parsons, but if it is, I think Prop picked you by knockout.
Yeah, I did. I just wail at him, man. Danny Roberts, you're gonna hit him, man. Danny Roberts is gonna go flying, man. He'll do the chicken dance on fours. Don't grapple him like Trinaldo. Don't grapple him like Trinaldo up against the fence.
I really hope that's actually Johnny Parsons. That would be a lot of fun, and I hope Wheezy's around to see this. But all right, we'll move on to the next fight. We've got Paul Craig versus Andre Muniz. Well, why don't you start it off, Prop? I got to run to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people think this fight's going to end inside the distance. Like me, I like both of these guys are both really talented on the ground. I feel like this fight's going to take place with I feel like it's going to be just like the Uzdemir fight, man. Like Paul Craig's just going to pull guard. He's going to want to do anything to get this fight to the mat where he could be on his back looking for a triangle, looking for his notorious armbar. I think Muniz is going to stay safe. I feel like he's going to stay out of it. I feel like Muniz is going to be attacking submissions well. I feel like this KO prop is being betted really heavy, which I don't hate, but it's like Paul Craig's facing guys who hit way harder than Muniz, and he kind of tends to just submit them off his back. So it's not really something that I really want to be jumping on, especially knowing that Muniz prioritizes in the grappling and what his armbar as well. Like this guy, when he has your back, he's not even trying to rear naked choke you. Like he's literally trying to transition to an armbar. And it's the second this guy gets it in, your arm is just being ripped and just other complete ligaments on your arm. So I don't know, man. This is I love unders, guys, but this under 1.5, it got smoked, man. It's like minus 105 now. I don't know, man. I kind of lean the over. I don't think I'm gonna get there, but I kind of like Muniz by decision. I think it's plus 400, man. I feel like he's just gonna stay out of Paul Craig's guard, and if he is in Paul Craig's guard, he's gonna be safe. But yeah, dude, I like this fight to go to decision. So give me fight goes at plus 240. Honestly, I kind of like it.
Prop, you froze for a sec. I don't know if it was me or you, but
oh, did I freeze when I went to say my bet, or
maybe you froze at the very, very end?
Oh, so I said the fight goes to decision and the over 1.5. I like here.
What's up, Lou? Our guy. I really hope it wasn't you. I hope you're lying, because it would be way more fun if that was the real Johnny Parsons. But hey, good to have you here, Lou, the OG, the one who started this show. Hope we see you soon, brother. But in terms of this fight, for me, I played Muniz by knockout, but that's when it was plus 650. Now it's not as enticing because, look, Craig's really only getting knocked out by guys with crazy power like Alonzo Menefield and who was the other one that knocked him out? Was it? It was Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker.
Yeah, with crazy hammer fists.
Yeah, and Muniz doesn't have crazy power. His striking's improved big time, and I do think he's the better striker. But I think that KO might come, honestly, on the ground. I think it might be a ground and pound knockout. I think the jiu-jitsu is going to be really close. Muniz is definitely the more accomplished jiu-jitsu guy. But Craig, I mean, in MMA, his jiu-jitsu's looked fantastic. So I think that knockout is live. I do think he might be able to put him out. Took a 0.2 unit shot at plus 650, and that's really all I'm doing there.
That's a killer line, man. That's a good line. I mean, I saw even Bet Rivers open plus 550 today. I was so tempted, but I don't know, man. I mean, when's his last knockout? I think he got one in 2019, right? Against some guy who's 5-5 on the regional scene right before he got into the UFC, right? I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna have to double check. You know what it opened at though?
Yeah, I think it opened plus 750, 800 range, right?
Plus 800.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, plus 800 all day. That's a bet all day at plus 800.
Yeah.
Your number's good too.
His last knockout was in 2017 against João Paulo dos Santos, 6-5-0 at the time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I was pretty close to it. Okay.
Yeah, he's come a long way in the striking.
Yeah.
Maybe he can do it on the feet, but I think it's more likely to come from the ground.
Hey, man, he looked pretty good on the feet against Brendan Allen, man.
He did.
Like, Brendan Allen's a good striker, dude.
That killed me, man, because Brandon Allen's also my guy, but like Muniz was my dark horse for the division. I was like, this dude. I remember
you were heavy on him on that week too, and then he gets subbed in the third. It's like, what the fuck?
That was like the last outcome I expected was for him.
I think it was the last outcome everyone expected, man. Whoever was holding that sub-3 ticket, I mean, congrats to you, man. Holy shit.
It's probably like plus 5,000 or something.
Oh yeah, definitely something fat, man.
But all right, we can move on to the next one. We've got Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Fili. I'll start us off. I'm on the Wood side, but in terms of a prop, I've been eyeing the under 2.5 for pretty much all week. It's plus 190. And I'm watching the tape on both these guys, and they're both getting hurt, and they're both hurting people constantly. Both things are happening constantly for both guys. So at plus 190, it's making a lot of sense to me. Like, gaming it out in my head, I kind of see it going to the decision just because they're both really tough. But then using logic and just what I'm seeing, the under makes a lot of sense. Fili hits like a train. He's got good boxing, good striking, good kicks, and we've seen Wood get knocked out by freaking Dotson, who's like 5'4". So he can be knocked out and he can be hurt. He's been hurt before. He's been hurt in the Jourdain fight. And the same goes for Fili. The guy's been hurt multiple times. Algeo hurt him. Pretty sure Jourdain hurt him. He can be hurt. Got knocked out by, who was it? Was it Brito?
Yeah.
Brito knocked him out.
40 seconds, yep.
And Wood, I didn't feel good about him coming up to 145 at first. But his power has really come into himself. Like in that Jourdain fight, when they were up close, it was Wood. And I really liked the way he was doing things. Like, I don't know boxing from like an expertise standpoint. I've never boxed, but the things he seemed to have been doing with like his guard up and like the way he was like going away from things and like landing his own shit looked so crisp, and the power was really there. So in terms of a prop, I think that under might be really live, or maybe fight ends by KO, but like then what if we get a sub? Both guys have subs. So if I do violence, it'll be the under, but we'll have to see. What are you thinking, prop?
Dude, as you're mentioning, dude, this Wood KO, man, I'm pissed I missed it. It opened plus 1,100, man. Crazy line, I think, dude. Like, dude, this guy's really fast in the pocket. And I feel like, as you said, dude, like his power at 45, man, I feel like it's transitioning, and I mean, Fili's been knocked down twice in his last 4 fights as well. Didn't he get knocked down against Bill Algeo? He got hurt bad against Bill Algeo too. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think knocked down,
but he got hurt pretty bad in that fight. I know, and like Algeo's just way slower on the feet, and like I feel like it's just way less powerful than Wood, honestly. But dude, I don't hate your under also, but like, dude, I think Fili's just gonna be there to get hit, man. He is there to be hit in the pocket. Dude, he has great head kicks, man. When he's hurting people, man, he's setting up that head kick very well. Shout out to Mike MMA Picks who said that. I mean, clearly, dude, this guy's head kicks they're great, man. I mean, but I don't think his grappling's bad either. I feel like he kind of had it. He almost got a sub. Yeah, hell yeah, 2 jobbers. Let's go, Lou. But dude, I like Wood by KO, man. I think he knocks out Fili. I feel like in London, dude, like honestly, like these fighters who are fighting for London this weekend, man, they're just gonna come out with another adrenaline. Like I feel like when you're fighting under that crowd with the atmosphere there, like knowing that like we're not gonna have like when are they gonna be back in London and next year, and possibly might not be back on this card as well, dude. These guys want to make a statement as well, so they could be back on this London card. And dude, I feel like this is a pretty good fight for Nathaniel Wood. Fili's good, man. Do not get me wrong. Like this line is a little bit wide, but dude, I like this Wood KO, man. I think he's going to knock out Andre Fili, and I think he's going to get it done in the second round. I'm looking to play Wood. It burned me last week, dude. It burned me last week. Like, God forbid he gets a sub. Like, I had Jung Young Park round 2 KO. I've never been so mad about losing a sprinkle bet in my life, but I like Wood round 2 and like Wood round 3, but play it boostier. Get Nathaniel Wood round 2 KO and round 3 KO, dude. I think he gets Fili out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really might get to that under. It's really tempting me. Zach
It's a good
Johnson,
bet,
what's
dude.
up? And Lou, I think I speak for everybody when I think we would all love to hear your yam bag shot. Very much so.
Oh yeah.
But all right, let's move on. Next up, we've got wow, we're up to the co-main already. We've got Molly McCann versus Julia Stoliarenko. I already know what you have because I have it too. Why don't you start us off, bro?
Yeah, so I bet the under 2.5. I got it at minus 105. I put 1.05 units on it, and yeah, Lou. Literally, I was just waiting for that fight to be called, man. But he got the sub. Shit happened, man. It sucked. But dude, I think Stoliarenko round one sub at plus 850. It's just the sub is pretty like I feel like it's crazy, man. Like she literally got Chelsea Chandler down, like who's like when this fight was at 140 into full mount, but what did she do? Like, I kind of wish she did more was throw some ground and pound and like just go for a rear naked choke. Don't like go straight to the arm bar as soon as you get full mount. Like she got full mount right away and got so like anxious and went for the arm bar and she got swept. But dude, Molly McCann makes mistakes on the ground, man. Like I understand Erin Blanchfield got her, put her down and just mauled her to death. But dude, I Dude, I think Stoliarenko gets a sub here, man. I also got in on her money line at plus 280. So I feel like I did a pretty good job beating the line there as well. And dude, the under just backs up Molly McCann coming out there because we know Molly McCann is coming out on like 25 lines of cocaine, dude. I mean, she is. It's pretty obvious, dude. She's gonna come out coked out, cokehead Molly, and she's gonna make a mistake. She's gonna make a mistake. She's gonna put herself into the clinch, and dude, it really could take just one fucking takedown. It really could just take one fucking takedown for Stoliarenko to get the clinch, throw her on top, and get that armbar in, dude. So I feel like the under is covering the McCann knockout. It's covering the finishing upright from Stoliarenko. Stoliarenko's also been knocked out 3 times as well. She has 0 striking defense. And when you watch her, like, just strike back, man, especially as MMA Jesus is mentioning, too, like, the weight cut, dude. Her coming down the 125, too, also really makes me love this under as well. And she's never fought at 125 in her whole entire life, dude. So, dude, even at minus 150, like if you guys can even bet the fight doesn't start round 3, see it like minus 120 on DraftKings. I really like that price as well, man, dude. I'd be I know this is a woman's fight, dude, but like I'd be shocked if it went to decision, man. It would really shock me, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, Jussie, I think that prop is actually on Stoliarenko to win, but
yeah, I'm on Stoliarenko to win. I got her at plus 280. I don't see if you're gonna bet her now, bet her round 1 sub at plus 850 and bet her round 2 sub. She's not gonna win the fight. If she won a decision here, it really would shock me. But I bet her at plus 280 because I mean I saw Molly McCann after I taped it. I thought the line was just way off, and I felt like money was gonna come in on her, and people were giving me crap, man. Like, why are you betting Stoliarenko? Like, it's a terrible bet. Why are you betting her at plus 280? Just bet her sub once it comes out. And I'm like, guys, like her line's gonna go down, money's gonna come in on it, and it did. So
plus 165 now. You killed
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What do you think about Stoliarenko decision no action at plus 170? That's interesting.
No, just bet the under. She's gonna get finished, dude.
I'm on the under.
She can get finished. Yeah, you have it as well. So
yeah. My prop is also the under. I took it way softer than prop. I put a half unit and I got a worse line. I got minus 134. I just think that, I feel that first of all, Stoliarenko can submit her. Molly does make a lot of mistakes. That said, her only 2 sub losses are Julian Robertson and Erin Blanchfield, both really good jiu-jitsu practitioners. So is Stoliarenko, but she's kind of limited, right, to that arm bar. But so Stoliarenko can get the sub, right? And then at the same time, coming down in weight, extremely hittable. Molly fighting like she's on drugs. I feel like Molly really could put her out as well. Like, not because she has big power, because she has output, pressure, and I think that attritionally it'll add up and eventually she can knock her out. So I really do like that under as well. What's Molly by knockout? When was the last time you saw a woman at plus 160 to win by knockout?
Dude, her KO against Carolina was plus like 800. I mean, it's ludicrous, dude.
What do they expect? Another spinning back elbow?
I think they're just expecting what everyone's thinking, just to come completely coked out. Like she is. I'm telling you right now, dude. She's gonna come so coked out. She's gonna make the mistake. She's gonna end up down on the ground. Against a girl who literally has like taken down people who are like 20 pounds heavier also, dude. And who has better ground games as well. It's just, that line was crazy to me, man. That plus 280 was insane to me, dude. I just like, even the under. The under now, I think, is just great price, dude. I really do. Like, I'd be shocked, honestly.
It's like minus 150 now.
Dude, it's not bad. Like, I still like the price, dude. It's like, seriously, I think this fight ends. I would be shocked.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I just really hope that if Molly does win, that they give her a fake belt to run around with again.
No.
That shit is so cringe, and it bothers everybody so much.
No, it bothered me, man.
I
saw Prodigy MMA reposted it. I think it was like 2 days ago, I think. And it was like, he's like the worst moment in modern time history. And like, dude, it's up there, man. I mean,
I wanted to do it again.
Dana's like, all right, let her keep running. We're coming back here next year. Tickets are going up. Molly, keep running with the belt. Like, he didn't give a shit, man. She's promoting this. Like, he didn't care.
Never gonna be champion, but it's so funny.
No, it is funny.
But all right, we'll move on to our main event of the evening. We've got Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura. I'll start it off. I've got Aspinall in 3 parlays, and I'm seeing people like Muradov as a parlay piece more than him, which is shocking to me, honestly. This is such a setup for Aspinall, and I love Tybura. Tybura's been an extreme money train for me. I've been backing him nonstop. I made bags off of him against Romanov, had like 2 units on him. That was beautiful. But there's a limit to everything. And the truth is, what does he have over Aspinall? He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything at all. Maybe some size. That's it. Doesn't have anything. Aspinall's going to be the better wrestler. Aspinall's certainly going to be the better striker. Who's got better cardio? I'm not sure. Has Tybura ever gone 5 rounds? Not that I know of. Neither has Aspinall. We're going to have to wait and see. I think the fight's going to end earlier than cardio concerns will kick in. But in terms of a prop, the only thing I'm considering is the Aspinall knockout. Unfortunately, the price kind of sucks. Minus 150, minus 140 is the best you're going to get. Then I was looking at like Aspinall round 2 and round 3 because I don't think he really gets him out of there in the first. So I've been looking at those, but round 2 is plus 300. Round 3 is plus 1,000, which does tickle me a little bit, get me a little excited. But I don't know if I'm going to get to those, honestly. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe I'll throw a little something on that knockout because he could get a sub. I mean, his jiu-jitsu is great. He's the jiu-jitsu coach where he trains, and it's clearly up to par. But Tybura never been subbed, good grappling of his own, and I just feel like most of the damage is going to come from the feet, and I do think he'll find that KO. How about you, Prop?
It's tough, man. I mean, this under 1.5 is juiced. It opened plus 140, which was like, I thought was crazy. I'm a little bit angry I didn't end up getting there. Even at minus 125, I'm pretty mad I didn't pull the trigger. But like, I don't know, dude. This fight really could get out of the first round, man. And it's like, honestly, dude, this is just me, like, personally. Like, this is the highest money line price that you're like ever gonna lay on Aspinall. Like, even now in his career, like, dude, he was minus 235 against Arlovsky. Like, I'm not laying minus 450 on him against Tybura, who I think is probably at the best he's been at his UFC career at this point. Like, I mean, I think he's at a huge speed disadvantage. I feel like he's pretty much at a disadvantage everywhere, dude. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I think Aspinall knocks him out. I mean, but like, dude, like, just God forbid, man, some shit happens like the Blades fight again, dude. Like, I just can't come out here and lay that price on Aspinall. But like, I don't know, man. Like, as you said, like, dude, like, I kind of like Aspinall round 2, round 3. I feel like that's kind of when he gets his finish. I see his round 2 KO is like lurking at like plus 550 on FanDuel. And I think round 3 KO is like plus 1,200. So like, those are pretty 2 good props to throw. But like, dude, like, it wouldn't shock me, dude, that like, if this fight did extend a little bit, man, like, Tybura is not a fighter to be like betting under 1.5 with and like parlaying like under 2.5 and minus 400, man. Like, I'm not parlaying and under 2.5 in a fucking Marcin Tybura fight at minus 400, dude. Like, regardless of who the hell's in there. But like, I think Aspinall gets this done, man. I think he can make it look easy, but like, this price is crazy on him, man. And even his KO, like minus 150, dude. It's like, no, thank you, man. Just no, thank you. I'm fine with watching the fight and just getting fucked up, man. Honestly.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right, guys, that's the end of this part of the show. Now we're going to do our 3 favorite props And then, of course, we're going to do Yam Bags. So, Prop, what are your 3 favorites here?
My 3 favorite props are the Buyres KO at plus 550 on Bet Online. I also really like the Lerone Murphy scorecards equals no action. I know it's not a good line. Lou's gonna be mad at plus 107. I feel like that's just a great line as well. And I'll give out Julia Stoliarenko round 1 submission on FanDuel at plus 850 as well. I like that prop as well, especially at those odds.
Okay, yeah. So for me, my top 3, I mean, my number 1 is going to be that one I didn't want to share.
And now is everyone, you shared it to everyone. It's your best pick now.
Now we have even more people watching. The risk is even higher. All right, I'm going to say it really fast. Ready? Diakiese decision only. Okay, that's my first one. My second one is going to be that Molly Stoliarenko under. I do like that one a lot. And my third will be the same as you, the Murphy decision, no action. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but that's probably one of the more likely ones on my list that I will play if I do. So those are my top 3. And now let's do the fun shit. What do you got for Yam Bags?
Oh, man. All right, so the Yam Bag fight of the night, dude, and I think it's going to be the dirtiest fight of the night, man. A fight that I have a bet on and do feel a little bit sick about it, man, is the Bruno Brazil and Bannon fight, man. I feel like Bruno Brazil could possibly grab the fence, maybe. She might get deducted a point. She has her fingers always extended. She's always getting warned with these. And I've seen Shauna, man. Shauna doesn't mind grabbing that fence as well, dude. So wouldn't shock me if any lady got a point deduction here. Wouldn't shock me if Brazil with these finger eye pokes just keeps getting warned by the referee, man. So yeah, give me the Yam Bags and Bruno Brazil fight, man. Feel like it's very live, dude. Especially knowing that she can grab that damn fence, man.
Yeah, so mine is mine's also a women's fight, and I feel like it's almost easy. Like Stoliarenko Molly.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
a pretty good one, man. If Stoliarenko's trying to grapple, I wouldn't be shocked if Molly grabbed the fence. I wouldn't be shocked if one of them did some stupid stuff like kneeing a grounded opponent or eye poking. I really wouldn't be shocked. I think that fight is going to be a mess. Molly is going to be like, one of those like wind up toys that you wind up and then you let it go. Like that's going to be Molly. So I feel like if there's any point deductions, that's the most likely one. And my second place one, because I was torn, I kind of like Duncan Ashmous also for a point deduction. 2 very sloppy-ish fighters. Going to be a sloppy fight. I feel like it might be a good shot, but I like that Molly Stoliarenko one. I feel like there really might be a point deduction there.
Maybe also, I don't know if we're allowed to give out 2. There's another fight I think is pretty interesting as well. I think the Jai Herbert fight, dude, is interesting as well, man. There's going to be a lot of kicks in that fight, man. I feel like the groin strikes are going to be there, man. They're going to be really live. Both guys are really kickbox heavy style as well, man. And both guys are going to want to fight on that outside as well. So, hey, man, the Yam Bags we just gave out 4 Yam Bags back, guys. I know Lou's really happy right now. Parlaying all 4 of them to win $100,000. Let's go.
Mushroom, honestly, I can't even tell you because we can't bet them where I'm at.
I wish, man. I really wish we could.
I bet MGM, he's saying has it. I have bet MGM. I don't know if they do it in New York, though.
They don't.
They don't.
Sucks.
And then man. I think Bet Online's been offering some of that kind of stuff recently.
Yeah, a couple of fights.
I haven't seen it yet, personally.
What was the book that was doing the eye poke? Like, if you guys have Betway and you guys can bet an eye poke in the Bruno Brazil fight, do it. Just do it because there's a really high likely chance she's going to get eye poke and get deducted a point. It really is a high likely chance. I have a bet on her too, man. I have a bet on her too. So
is that a thing? An eye poke?
Yes, I've seen it on Betway. They have it on Betway. I've seen it on Betway on Fight Odds. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, no way. I'm like, I need Betway. Of course, Betway isn't legal in New York, so we don't get access. So, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But all right, guys, that's a show. That's props to consider and maybe bet. Thank you guys all for tuning in once again. Thank you to Prop for joining me this week. I'm not going to be able to do Prop Talk. I think Prop's going to be running it. Maybe he'll tell you guys about it in a second. In terms of what I've got going on, only one other show. It's going to be today, actually in 40 minutes on my channel. I'll be going live with Clint from Die Hard MMA. We're going to break down the card from the bottom up. from not just props perspective, but from everything. And Lou kind of mentioned it earlier. Next week, I'm taking my bar exam. I'm more than likely not going to be able to do this show. And Lou might come back and make an appearance. So look out for that. Look out for news of that. And yeah, Prop, how about you, brother? Why don't you plug yourself and we'll hop on out?
Yeah, so you guys can check me out at MMA_propaholic on Twitter. And yeah, guys, I'm doing LFA this week as well. I just dropped my first LFA bet on Twitter with my breakdown for it as well. Have my unders and overs circled ready for these opening odds, so I'll be giving those out when I bet those as well. And yeah, guys, let's make some money. I'll be doing prop talk tomorrow as well. Still got to find a guest. I actually still haven't found a guest who I'm going to bring on for the co-host tomorrow, but that'll be live on Twitter Spaces at the same time that me and CouchWarrior will be doing it, which is at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So, yeah, guys, I'm hyped for this card. CouchWarrior, thank you for having me on here on the MMA Engine, and let's make some money, man. I'm hyped for this card, man. A lot of violence, man. UFC London Fight Week, man. The atmosphere is gonna be there. It's gonna be some Dage drinking, dude. So I'm ready, man. Ready for this card, man.
I love 12 p.m. fight.
So
cards.
do I, man. I
love
love it, dude. You get a nice filling breakfast at 10:30, and then 11 o'clock is when you start going all in, man, for the next 7 hours.
Mimosas and waffles, baby. Mimosas and waffles.
Pancakes, bacon, and eggs with me with a mimosa, man.
I like pancakes and waffles too.
I need a big meal before my fight day too. Need a big meal, man.
But all right, guys. Thank you guys all. Good luck this weekend and peace.